You're listening to the TrepsUnite podcast, episode 21. Hey, what's up, guys? Jeff Gargas here, and you are listening to the TrepsUnite podcast, where we are all about connecting entrepreneurs and helping you grow your business. This is episode number 21, but before we get to my awesome guest, I want to talk to you really quick about a sweet deal from Acumen Learning. If you don't know Acumen Learning, they have trained thousands of companies and business professionals around the world in more than 30 countries, and the trainings have been implemented in 18 of the Fortune 50 companies. So if you're a business professional looking to advance your career, an entrepreneur or small business owner looking to grow your company, or you're simply looking to build your credibility, head over to seeingthebigpicture.com/treps to get 50% off their core training, Seeing the Big Picture. With over 54 lectures and more than 2.5 hours of training available for you to explore at your own pace, this course will take you and help you understand the 5 business drivers, help you diagnose the financial strength of any company, and will create the foundation for building your business acumen throughout your career. So head over to seeingthebigpicture.com/treps to get 50% off right now. All right, so my guest today is Lisa Crilley Mallis, and Lisa is a certified organizer coach and a time strategy consultant, and she's the founder of System Savvy Consultant. Lisa uses her experiences in secondary education and direct sales and her love of schedules, systems, and all things time management to assist overextended direct sellers and busy, motivated adults in implementing concrete techniques that can be applied immediately to their daily lives. Lisa's enthusiasm for finding solutions is contagious, and her commitment to empowering you to find success is absolutely transformational. Lisa, I'm so excited to have you on today. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to chat with us. First and foremost, how are you today?
I am doing great, Jeff, and thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to share my passion with your listeners.
We're super excited to hear your story and your passion. So let's get right into it. Can you first just tell us a little bit about your business and what you do, and then tell us a little bit about yourself?
I started out as a high school math teacher, and recently when I was listening to one of your podcasts, one of your guests said, I believe that everything I've done before has been a training ground for where I am right now. And I totally want to steal that phrase because that's what I believe. Everything I've done has led me to where I am now. And so I started out as a high school math teacher and then moved into administration and was an athletic director for Division I high school. All the while, I was leading a team of motivated women in the direct selling industry. And then I realized that I was overextended drastically. In the middle of that, getting married, buying a house, finishing my master's, all of that. And so I knew I needed to take a step back because I was caught in that same phrase that so many of my clients are, where you're moving so quickly and you knocking things off your to-do list, but you're not exactly sure where you're going. And that's where I found myself. And so I was so fortunate to recognize that early and also know that I had gathered all these different skills from doing the various things I had done in my past. So like I started to realize one size systems, they don't fit all. In fact, one size usually fits just about nobody. And so, but had not worked with kids, would not have realized that. That's one of those places when you're a teacher, you start to catch, you know what, not everyone is going to follow, especially in math. It does not all work for everyone the same way. And so that's one of the pieces that I was so thrilled to be able to grab from. And also to realize that you really there's a better way than what I was living. And that I'm not the only one who feels that way. It doesn't have to be go, 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 with no pauses along the way, to make sure you're on the right path. And so I was able to pull that from my time in education and my time in the direct selling industry, the idea that Everyone thinks a little bit differently. Everyone wants to get somewhere, but not always sure of the path that they want to use to get there. And I realized I loved working and motivating people to get to their next level, their next big goal, whatever that may be, whether it was in the classroom or it was in direct sales or it was as a coach or as a administrator. It was just all those ideas, all that stuff started to come together. So then that was how I started my business.
Very cool. And then here you are today.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a little bit more. Let's get into your business a little bit more. And let's talk about your book, 30 Days to Success, an awe-inspired journal. Who's this for? Who's the book for? And what can we expect from it?
The book is for anyone who's motivated to make a change, whether it's to create a new habit or it's to finish a product or a project, or they know where they want to be, or maybe they don't. They know there's something else they want. And so this book helps create the structure and the framework to get you from where you are now to finish that up. So for example, I believe everyone needs some sort of structure. Different amounts for different people, but if we're trying to do something differently, there's my favorite saying is, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So if you're trying to make some sort of a change, then something has to happen in order for that change to occur. And so I developed the AWE system, AWE, as a rough framework to help people move forward. So the A for our awe-inspired journal, the A stands for awareness. What is it that you're trying to accomplish? What are some of the obstacles that are standing in your way? What are things you've tried in the past that maybe you can do better? The W stands for work. So it's the bridge from where are we now to where do we want to be? And then the E is for evaluation. What have we tried? What worked? What would we be able to do a little bit better? And so this journal walks you through those steps every day for 30 days to help you begin to build the habit or to make changes or finish a project. And so in the W phase, that work phase, Jeff, there's lots of strategies, time management strategies, delegating, using checklists, all those things that we've heard about, but sometimes have a difficult time applying to our own lives. Those are scattered throughout the 30 days. So it brings you a new idea from a different perspective, possibly than what you've tried before.
Very cool. I love that. Awareness, work, and evaluation. And I believe you've got something kind of cool with this book. You
I
want to talk about
do.
that now?
I would love to talk
Let's do
about that
that.
now. This is my big passion is this awe-inspired journal, because with it comes the awe challenge, which is a 30-day video and action step guide that comes to your email every day for 30 days. And so you get a little piece of me, 2-3 minutes every day for 30 days that supplements the workbook. So the workbook will have some structure for you, so you have a place to keep track of your success and what's working, because sometimes we get so caught on the destination that we forget about the journey. And so the workbook helps you keep track of your journey, and you can look back a couple days and say, oh, look what I did. This worked great. And then also then the video challenge helps support that workbook in a way, because maybe you're, one of the things I learned from education, maybe you don't prefer the written word. Maybe you prefer to listen to a video and watch a video. So it gives you additional information and additional examples that I can get in and change periodically based on new developments. And then what I have for you guys as a special is, with this 30 Days to Success and Awe-Inspired Journal that automatically comes grouped with the challenge, is also a 30-minute strategy session where we're able to dig deep. because sometimes you're stuck at the beginning and you're like, I don't know what my goal is. Well, this is the opportunity for us to talk it through. Or maybe halfway through, you're like, I was making great progress and now I'm not. What happens? Because that happens. You know how you're like, everything's great. And all of a sudden you're like, well, what happens? This gives us the opportunity to delve deep into that for 30 minutes so that you can continue on your path for 30 days. And then once you're in the challenge, you can rerun that anytime you want.
That is awesome. And how can we get this?
I will send you the direct link, but the best way is just to go to my website, www.systemsavvyconsulting.com. And then there's a place right down there that says join the challenge.
All right, great. And I will take that direct link. I'll make sure I have that for you guys over, as always, in the show notes at TrepsUnite.com. So we'll make sure that is really, really easy to find. That is so awesome. I appreciate you doing that for us, Lisa. Very, very cool. So let's dive into your mind a little bit here, okay? It might be dangerous, but I want to get in there with you.
It will be dangerous. I guarantee it.
That's okay. I'm ready for the danger. I'm ready for the adventure. Let's talk about time management. Can you share 1 or 2 tips to better time management? Maybe a daily action that you yourself take, or that you've seen a lot of work very well with a lot of your clients that really helps you to manage your time better.
Absolutely. We know that we have great goals, and in the morning we all have the best of intentions, and you're always looking for a way to achieve your goals with ease, balance, and fun. And when you first get up, you are convinced that today's the day that's going to happen easily, and then life happens. And you start to experience some overload and frustration from a schedule that seems super hectic and unmanageable, or distractions or disruptions and interruptions. And all of a sudden, it's noon, or it's 5 o'clock, or it's 10 o'clock at night, and you're thinking, well, tomorrow will be different. And so one of the tips that I recommend is to prioritize the important over the urgent. And what I mean by that is we're all professionals. The urgent stuff, it'll get done. It will. It magically, that whatever's urgent and has to happen, it will finish. But that important stuff, the Covey's quadrant 2 stuff, the important but not urgent, it can slide. So I always recommend to my clients, and I do it myself, I schedule a block of time, and I schedule in what is my number 1 most important thing that I can do to move my business forward. Not that's urgent, but what's the one thing I can do that's important? And I put it in the calendar with a specific time attached to it. So it's an appointment. And I will say to people, I'm not available at 9:30. I have an appointment. And it's an appointment with myself, and that is perfectly okay.
Perfectly okay.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, so let me jump in real quick. And you're saying important versus urgent. What if you have someone who has trouble telling the difference between what is important and what is urgent? Can you give us just a quick example so we can kind of visualize that?
Absolutely. So, for what I'm doing, when I was preparing for your show, I wanted to make sure that I could provide good value. And so in my head, I started thinking about what are some of the things I want to make sure that I share. That's important for us in general. It's important for me to make sure my mind is clear. It's important for you that my mind is clear. It's important for your listeners that my mind is clear. And so as I'm preparing for that, if I leave that to 20 minutes before you and I talk, it's an urgent task. And I'm not going to be nearly as prepared as I could be. If I bump it out a day, 2 days beforehand and start to get my thoughts clear, I'm much better prepared. I will deliver much better content much more clearly. So then that becomes important. Urgent is someone calling you on the phone and you answering when it comes and then jumping onto their agenda versus staying on your agenda. So many times there's a sales call we need to make. That's important. But we get caught up in, well, I need to answer these emails and I need to run out and, pick up milk and I need to do all these other things. And at the end of the day, you're like, oh, I'll just make that sales call tomorrow. But that's important. It's the most important thing you can do for your business.
Sure. Okay. So what you do is you take those important factors, you lay them all out in the morning, you set specific times as appointments for you to take care of each of those important tasks that you have to do each day.
Yes.
Now, do you sit down? I know I sit down on Sundays or actually sometimes early Monday morning, and I do a similar thing, but for the entire week. Do you do the whole week, or is that looking too far out? Is it better to stay more specific to the day?
I think that the answer depends on the person.
Okay.
Personally, I do mine on Fridays.
Okay.
I try to reserve my weekends for family activities and relaxing. And if I'm not sure what my week looks like, my brain keeps going there all over the weekend. What do I have to do? What's on my calendar? So if I can close out the week on Friday, evaluate what's worked well, evaluate what might need tweaking, and then look ahead at my calendar and slot in those important activities, then I can come into the weekend very clear and calm. So I do that on Friday, usually Friday afternoons, and then reevaluate every night. And sometimes things become more important than others. Sometimes I look at it and think, why did I think this was important? This doesn't even belong on the calendar. It goes away. Or I can send that out to my virtual assistant. But for some people, I was just working with a client where she lays out her big important steps by the quarter. Okay. So every quarter she has a really good framework for how she wants every week and day to look. Other people do it on a daily basis. I do it weekly.
Very cool. I love that you do it on a Friday so that you're not thinking about it throughout the week, and that's something that I may have to try.
Good.
I may have to steal that from you. That's fantastic. See, I'm learning every day from you, Lisa. It's fantastic.
Awesome.
So let's talk about, you've had a really cool journey from being a teacher and now a coach and helping. You were helping kids and now you're helping business people and individuals to better their lives. But I'm sure it hasn't been all super happy and excited and rah 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 like you seem to be. You're so enthusiasm and positive, and I love that. But I'm sure there's been some times where there's been some struggle. So can you tell us about a time that you failed and kind of take us there with you? I want to feel what that felt like to you when you failed, and tell us about that struggle, and then tell us how you overcame that, and then more importantly, what did you learn from it?
Absolutely. I hear you wanting to feel my pain. So
I do.
I'll bring you along on the journey, Jeff.
Let's go. I'm ready. I'm holding on.
I recently launched my first book. And this is not one of the stories that sounds like it's bad, but it's really good. No, I launched my first book, and that was like the only good part of it. In 4 months, I sold 3 copies. And I was convinced that really all I had to do to be a best-selling author, because I don't know what reality I was living in, but in my own reality, all I had to do was put the book up on Kindle. That's all I had to do. Get it up on Amazon and available for Kindle, and magically it would be the best book ever. And it is the best book ever, but however, no one knew it existed. And so, and that has been a little bit of a theme for me. Like, I put up a website and just assumed, well, if I build it, they will come. Put up a website, everyone's going to find me. How could they not? I love what I do. Clients find huge value because with a little coaching, we all know that you can really develop a system that works superbly well. And so you can accomplish your heart's desires. Sometimes you just need some framework and some guidance. So I thought, well, of course, throw it up there. They will all arrive. What I learned is that it's not quite that easy. You have to think a little bigger than if you build it, they will come. And so specifically with the book, I reached out. I found someone who had recently launched a book who was selling copies. And I asked him, what did you do? And he said, well, I hired someone that specializes in that. And I thought, well, that's right up my alley, because if I can delegate to an expert, I would much rather do that than actually learn that skill myself, because someone has already gone through all that and knows it. And so that's what I did with the book. I did the same thing with the website, hired someone who designs websites and helped me narrow down my marketing message. So yes, I failed. I mean, 3 sales in 4 months, Jeff, not something to be most proud of. But I reached out because I tell my clients all the time, delegate. I was in that position where I thought I had reached the point where I didn't need to delegate because I thought I was done, until I realized I wasn't.
So that was a good story, and I love what you learned, and that's such a great lesson learned there. And I hope you guys are listening to that. You can't do it all yourself. You know, we so often as entrepreneurs try to wear every single hat there is, and we try and do everything, and we think of course we believe in what we do, and we know what we're doing is awesome and provides great value, and we think, I'll just put this up and everyone will come flocking for it, because why wouldn't they, right? And that's such a great lesson, is that, what, sometimes it's a lot more than that. You got to reach out and find those people that can help you get your message out. But I want to go in a little bit further with you there, because you said it was only three copies in how long?
4 months.
In 4 months. So take us to the day that you actually sat back and realized, oh man, I only sold 3 copies of this. When did that hit you? When did you realize that's not how I do this? I have to change. I have to do something differently. What was that? What was it that actually like hit you over the head and said, wow, Lisa, okay, it's time to do something different other than just build it and they will come?
Right. It's a friend of mine who put his book out, and he had sent out, I was following his emails. I have a book, it's a free download right now on Amazon. And, a little while later, the next email would come out and say, you only a couple more days to download your free book on Amazon. I'm so excited. People have already downloaded like over 1,000 copies. And I thought, you have to be joking. I've sold 3 in 4 months, and you have over 1,000 people downloaded your book in 2 days. And that's when I thought, okay, something has to happen. and it was that I honestly don't know how long, without that prompt for me, I don't know how long I would have sat there with my book hanging out on Kindle. I don't know, but that did it for me. I was like, I have to do this.
Awesome. So that's what I was looking for, that moment that it clicked with you there. So thank you for sharing that. That was fantastic. So let's flip it on the other end here, and I'm sure there's a lot of these, and I hope you can find one specific to share with us. But let's talk about one of your favorite successful moments.
I will share with you. I call it like my magic day. As entrepreneurs, we try a lot of strategies to get our name out there. Once we realize that when you build a website, that does not necessarily mean they will come. You do a lot of things. And so in my business, as I was building my business, I speak. I speak all over the place. And so sometimes it's at community ed programs. Sometimes I'll speak at libraries. Sometimes I'll keynote events. It just, if especially at the beginning, if they would have me, I was there. And then other times someone will refer a client and you'll have a conversation, but it won't necessarily go anywhere right then. But you'll think, oh, well, we're planting the seed. And so for about 2 years, I kept telling myself, well, you're planting the seed. It's keep the faith, keep moving forward. You're planting the seed. And one day, I had seeds that I had planted 2 years ago come to fruition. Someone that was at my very first workshop called and said they were ready to start one-on-one coaching. 2 years, almost to the day, my very first workshop. I had someone who lives in my community who saw one of my presentations advertised in our local community education brochure and called and brought me in to do a 2-week workshop with her employees. And I had someone who I had started coaching with very early who reached back out and said, I want to bring you I was a direct seller and she had a team. And she goes, I want to bring my whole team and can we do group coaching? And that day, there were like 3 or 4 other things that happened all in one day. It was all things that I had built so long before. And so it was the day that I thought, oh, yes, the seeds, they're coming, they're growing.
That's a good day right there, huh? Do you remember
It
what
was
day
a
of the
great
week it
day.
was?
It was a Wednesday.
Nice. I love that. I knew you'd know which day it was. That's
it
fantastic.
was it was a Wednesday. I was sitting out on my deck and going. I had been gone all day, and I was going through my email and through my voice messages, and they were just one after another after another.
That is awesome. That is fantastic. So let's talk a little bit about coaching.
Hmm.
Why do you believe it is so important for entrepreneurs to have a mentor or a coach?
I think that so many reasons. I believe coaches need coaches. I have coaches. One is you're not an expert in everything, and like you had said, as an entrepreneur, you wear many hats. And if you have your hands on every piece of your business can only grow so much. And I think that's kind of why sometimes you need a coach, is for someone on the outside to have a different perspective, because they're not in the day to day challenge with you. And so they can help bring some clarity and some expertise. I would have loved for one of my coaches to say, hey, your book's been sitting out there for 4 months. Thinking about hiring anyone? Like, that would have been great. But also, sometimes you need that accountability. You need someone that can say, okay, well, you said this week you were going to put the important over the urgent.
Yes.
Yet what I'm hearing you say is the day got away from you. I say that in quotes. How I don't understand, how does that happen? Because it's not about time management, it's about choice management. And so how is it that all of a sudden you didn't make choices? Or sometimes you need a coach that can just show you that you're capable for so much more than what you think you are, and hold that big picture for you until you're ready to step into it.
Very yes. So many awesome pieces right there, and that when your answer on why you should have a coach and mentor and someone that can help. And I love you mentioned accountability, and I think that is huge because one of the things that I see the most is that when people first get started on their and they start their own business, they fall into the trap of I don't have a boss anymore. I don't have that person breathing down my neck over my shoulder. I can do whatever I want. And they will sit behind their new desk and their new computer and their new setup with their business cards and their name placeholder, whatever it might be, and they forget that they still have to do work to get there.
Right.
And it's that accountability. And it's so often we need that. We need to let someone know, hey, look, here's what I'm going to do. Now make sure that I do that. And I think that is absolutely huge. And then I love that you said choice management when you're talking about that, because it is so often it's not necessarily just time management, it's choice management, and it's that making that decision on you have a choice every second, every day, every minute, every day, however you want to space it out, to you have that choice to do this or do that, and do like you said, do the important or do the urgent. So two awesome nuggets there. I really appreciate those. So let's get into 3 questions that I ask all of my guests. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right, if you could give any new entrepreneur one piece of advice, what would it be?
Get support, whatever that may look like. And it looks different for everyone, but many entrepreneurs fall into that. They're in a vacuum type of a deal. They're doing all these things and they don't have anyone to bounce ideas off of. And everything is kept so tight and close to the vest. So whether it be a mastermind group or a mentor or a coach, or even just bouncing ideas off your mom or a spouse or a friend, but don't try to go it alone. I always joke, it takes a village to raise me, and I appreciate each and every one of you doing your part. And I'm really probably not joking, because it does take a village to raise me.
That is an awesome piece of advice, because getting support is so important. I cannot imagine making it anywhere near where I am now and doing the different things that I do and all the million things that I do right now if I didn't have my wife, if I didn't have my parents and my friends that support me constantly. And so, like you said, find yourself a coach and a mentor or mastermind group. I'm so glad that you mentioned that, or a local community group, whatever it might be.
Mhm.
But I also look for that support for emotionally from your family and your friends, and get that, because sometimes that's tough. That's tough to find, because some people think you're a little crazy for trying to do this crazy entrepreneur thing. So support can be huge, especially if it's someone very close to you that you see every day. So very, very great piece of advice there. So I love to give my listeners something actionable during each episode. So what is one thing any entrepreneur can do today to grow their business?
Take action.
Take action.
Take action. That is what they can do today, is take action. I can throw all those cliches. The lights are never all green at the same time. You'll never have all your ducks in a row. But the bottom line is, if there's anything they heard today as you and I have been chatting that they thought, oh my gosh, that's me. Oh, that's something I want to do. Then do it. Put a time in the calendar right now, put it in there, and do it today. It's your choice. Move things around. Get it in today.
I don't know if it gets any more actionable than take action.
I know.
And it's really, I love that you say that, because that is such a big one, and that has been one of the most common answers I get to that question, which I love that it's been commented, because I agree with it, is that you just got to do it. Like you said, all those different cliches, and if you just think about it and you think about it, you'll be planning for the rest of your life, and you'll
Right.
never do it, and you'll wake up and you'll have never went after your dream or your passion or whatever that is that you're trying to chase. So
Right.
awesome. I love that one. Fantastic. So do you have a favorite book or podcast or a video series that you could recommend for us?
I do. My favorite time management book is 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, which I'm sure that this answer probably has come up more than once.
That's actually the first time, but that is a fantastic book.
I'm a fan of Stephen Covey. When I was in grad school, we had a 8-week course where we went through his 7 habits. And since then, it's one of the major things that I pull from when I'm working with clients. It's like start with the end in mind, and those types of things, and strategies and techniques. And then the other thing is, I'm recently been listening to a lot of podcasts, tons of podcasts. And the one that I'm loving right now is Sales Coach Chalk Talk with Hugh Little and Jim Hanlon. And I'll get you that link so that you can put that in your show notes.
I actually have that link, because I will be on that show very soon.
That's right. I'm going
to be hanging out and causing all kinds of ruckus with you here in a couple weeks. So that's a fantastic one. I will have links for that, because I know you were just recently on his show as well, correct?
I was.
Fantastic.
Which is not the reason I'm recommending it.
No, it's a fantastic show, and it's got the word sales in the name, but it reaches to so much more than just just sales professionals. So fantastic recommendation. I will have links for that and for the book, as well as everything else that Lisa and I have been talking about today. As always, guys, over in the TrepsUnite.com in the show notes. So 2 fantastic recommendations there. Appreciate that. Finally, I can't believe we're already to the end, Lisa. I'm going to have to bring you back and dive deeper in your mind later on. Are you up for that?
I am up for that.
We're going to do that. You guys look out for that. We're going to have some special stuff, I think, with Lisa. But this is the TrepsUnite podcast, where we are all about connecting entrepreneurs. So how can we connect with you?
The easiest way would be just to go to my website. That way there's links on there if you're a Facebook person or a Twitter person or a Google Plus person. All my social media links are there. If you want to be able to email me, there's a nice, easy place to do that. If you want to call me, there's an easy place to do that. So the easiest way just to get in contact with me, that's the best way for you, is at www.systemsavvyconsulting.com.
All right, awesome. And that will, of course, be in the show notes as well. Easy to find for you guys. So, Lisa, again, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day, chatting with us, sharing your stories, and sharing your insights and tips and your great advice and just your enthusiasm and positivity. I absolutely love it. I've really enjoyed having you on, so I really appreciate that.
Thank you. I loved being here. This was fun.
Great. Well, we'll do it again. And until then, good luck with everything. I look forward to connecting with you very soon.
Sounds good. Thanks.
And there you go. Another great episode of the TrepsUnite podcast, where we are all about connecting entrepreneurs and helping you grow your business. Be sure to jump over to TrepsUnite.com/more Twitter followers to grab my free ebook, How to Get More Quality Followers on Twitter. 5 simple strategies to grow your followers and your engagement. And make sure you jump over to seeingthebigpicture.com/Treps to get 50% off Acumen Learning's core training, seeing the big picture. Start growing your business acumen today. And as always, the awesome music in today's episode was brought to us by the Chuck Schaefer Picture Show. You can check them out at cspsband.com or find them on iTunes. Thank you again for listening, subscribing, and rating on the podcast. I look forward to connecting soon. Never